Well, for example, do you want a stairway or do you want it to be a bungalow? Do you want it to have towers?
Well, yeah. Of course I want towers. Hey, everybody. I'm Philip.
And I'm Justin.
And together we are Pajamas. And we are going to do inebriated questions 4. What are inebriated questions, you might ask? Simply put, we take a shot, we ask each other a question, and that's pretty much it. We keep doing that.
Have you ever had drunk conversations and wished that you could have had it recorded so that you could see it later? Well, here's one.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah. Go to episode 1 when we had Everclear.
Oh, yes,
that was... Oh my goodness.
Oh, yes, that was definitely something to begin the series.
Yeah, we start off with a bang.
A nuclear boom, actually.
Yeah, and yeah. A couple of cool things. One, we don't know the questions that the other's going to ask. We compile these separately. We choose them at random.
Mm-hmm.
And number 2, we try something different every time. So far, we've kind of been wanting to do stuff we haven't had before.
Mm-hmm.
So we did the Everclear, we did sake, we did Irish whiskey. And this time we are doing our usual whiskey, but with a chaser of pickle juice. That's what's on the menu for this installment of Inebriated Questions.
Which is actually an interesting combination, considering that I do like the whiskey, and I also, at times, like to sip on pickle juice.
Right.
Once in a while.
We got this idea. We didn't come up with it. We got this idea from watching the Try channel. And this was one of the things they had to try. And we saw that, and we thought, we should do that too. That looks really interesting. And I also like both those flavors. So what do they taste like, in succession?
Yes, it could be...
Or possibly together. I might mix it together for one shot. But yes, that is what's on tap for this video. So, want to get to it?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, I need water.
You have pickle juice. That's what the glass is for.
Oh, yes.
No, I brought those because I thought it would just be easier too. We don't have an extra set of shot glasses, so we're gonna just down the pickle juice, or not down it, drink it after or something. So it will not be shot and then shot. It will just be shot and then pickle juice. That is really good. That is really good.
That's unusually amazing.
Yeah.
I thought that it would be good, but I didn't think that they'd go together this much.
Yeah. Yeah, you put it perfectly, yeah.
Yes, I actually wonder if they do. There's probably some sort of drink to get at a bar somewhere that involves pickle juice.
Maybe. It was Bernie and then it was like if you don't like pickle juice, you're not going to like this. I think the next shot I'm going to leave the whiskey in my mouth, then take the pickle juice and then swish it together and then see how that tastes all in one. I'll do that next time. But as far as the questions go, it's always beauty before age. So Justin gets to go first and ask me a question.
This is something that you could probably make into a story.
Okay.
I was wondering, what were you like as a little boy?
Anxious.
Tell me something like, well, for example, as a sort of sub-question of where that question's going, would we have made a great couple if we were in high school? Would you want to be born in my generation?
Oh, that's a definite yes. Yeah. I've always said I was born 10 years too early. But I was such a different person in high school that...
Tell me about it in detail.
Well, I was quiet, I was shy, I didn't have any self-esteem, I was picked on, I was bullied. I think I've mentioned it before, I've spilled blood on my high school, on the lawn, in the high school, in the cafeteria. So it wasn't just bullied. I was beaten up, bullied. So I was really bitter and angry all the time. My home life was what it was. School, there was just no reprieve for me. So I want to say yes to be romantic, but I don't know if we would, because I don't know if I would have been healthy for you. I don't think I would have been the healthy choice you needed in your life at that time if we were in high school together, because I was a mess.
We could have been alone and shy and things like that together.
That's true. I had this tendency to I don't know. I don't know if I could test people or see, how can I put it?
To see what people's limits are?
Kind of, yeah. Like I would be dramatic and overact just to see if the person would stick around. Which obviously, don't do that.
I think that counts as playing with people's emotions.
Yeah, exactly. I was, but I mean, I'm not trying to scapegoat it, but the household I grew up in and the
Combined with life in high school.
all the abuse I had. I mean, I'd been sexually and or physically abused since I was like 4 years old. It just made me into a very calloused, mean. Like you can be mean and meek at the same time, and I wasn't. I think I just would have toyed with you, and you're so sensitive and you're so genuine that I think I would have done more damage to you than good.
I would say that in high school, what I would have wanted was for me to be able to come to you and for us to hug and for you to tell me that everything is going to be all right.
And that's not who I was then.
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't this guy. Like I can do that now and mean it because I've had life experience and matured and, self-awareness and all of that. But I can't confidently say that we would have been together. So.
This is actually what I do like. How ironic that this is a good answer to the question because it's brutally honest, and that's something that I cherish very much about our relationship, that it's all based on honesty and not about, all right, the proper protocol in this situation is to say that, so I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
Whether or not I actually mean it.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's no what am I supposed to say? Because there is no supposed to say.
Well, yeah,
you're supposed to say what you really feel
in your mind.
Yeah, whatever you feel and think. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I want to be romantic, but
yes, but as long as it's sincere, you're actually being romantic enough for me.
Okay. All right, my turn. Let me find my bad prep guy. It was a good question though. Living or dead? If you could change lives with someone, who would it be? Big guns.
There's so many people in history that I admire.
Just one person, like just that you want to live a day in the life of that person.
Oh, only one day?
No, I'm just using that as an example to help you maybe narrow it down.
That's a very tough one because there's so many people that I admire.
Can you do like a top 3? Would that make it easier?
Possibly. Well, for example, I really admire Sir Isaac Newton.
Mm-hmm. What would you want to switch places with Isaac Newton?
I would consider that because it would give me, because then I would definitely, without a doubt, be very influential.
Yes, which is very important.
Yeah. Yes. And well, with that comes not only in academia, but also politically, which is why another person that I really admire would be Frederick the Great of Prussia. Someone who was also reputed to be a monarch that was on the spectrum.
Oh, really?
Yes. At least it's rumored.
Okay.
That he and the French philosopher Voltaire had a thing for a while.
I know Voltaire. So they put Voltaire in high school.
Oh yes, he's a classic philosopher of the Enlightenment. That's too. So someone who is that academically and politically.
What about in the arts? Let's make the third one the arts. Because I know how important that is to you. I have an idea who it would be, but if you could switch places with anyone
from the arts,
from acting to painting to anything
to even composing.
Yeah, exactly. Any artistic expression.
Would you include literature in that?
Yes.
Oscar Wilde.
Are you sure? He led a really turbulent life, though.
Sometimes you have to really become very self-aware and knowledgeable. Which is why, for example, I would have also included, if we were going specifically with philosophy, I would have also included Nietzsche, even though I knew perfectly well that he went insane at the end of his life. Most likely as a result of the syphilis taking over his mind.
Yeah. Those are solid choices.
So yes, basically, the person that I would want to trade lives with would be someone who is very influential in something. And well, not surprisingly, these very influential people that I spoke of, well, they all had money.
They did.
A bit of a critique of the way things are.
And the way things have been.
Oh yes, there's some things that never change. even when they probably are past due.
Yeah, I keep hearing how we're in late stage capitalism. I'm like, okay, when does the levee break? All the people with all the money have all the power, and they're not even trying to hide their corruption anymore. They're like, yeah, we're fucking you over, ha 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 ha. So let's move on to better things. Second shot.
Oh yes, a happy thing.
Yes. All right. Come by. That is so fucking good. Oh wow, this is a fantastic combination.
Very different. I would actually also like to try it with different pickle juices.
Yeah, we have the sweet and sour in there as well, don't we? Question 2 is in your court.
Out of all the dates that we've gone on, which is the one that is your most favorite? Which is the one that's most memorable? The one that sticks out to you the most?
The first one.
Interestingly, that's also mine as well. It's one that, if there were a date that I had to relive, it would definitely be that one.
Yeah.
The first date, the one when we first met.
Yeah. Shortest answer ever.
It was, and well, that shows how great of a date it was, that we only needed one and was instant chemistry, as if this was some sort of after-school romantic show.
Yeah. After-school special for gay teens.
It'll happen someday.
Maybe. Not gonna go on that rant. Yeah, it was the first one. Just because without that one, this wouldn't exist. So.
Indeed.
And it was a fun day. You got to see me in my element when I was doing photography. You got to see me cosplay. You got to see... Then we got to hang out afterwards.
And we talked about things that we liked, and we were even at a place of interest to us anime.
Yeah. Yeah. I highly recommend in any kind of anime convention, Comic-Con type place. Good first date. Good first date option.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's much more imaginative than the classic, let's go to a restaurant or something like that.
Something you've probably learned about me. Well, I know you have over the years. Is I don't like traditional things. I don't like flowers. I don't like candy. Like I've told you before, you could pick up a rock you found on the ground because it reminded you of me. And I would cherish it more than some cliche. I don't like cliche lovey stuff because it's marketing and it's not my thing. And I'm not trying to be all hipster about it, but I personally just don't like it. It's just not me.
It's all right if it's your thing. It's simply not his thing. Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Exactly. Yeah. And I know you like those things, but then I try and like happy medium, with stuff. So like whenever I give you a gift, it has to mean something. If I get you like a handmade sloth for your birthday, or when I got that really cool antique desk lamp. Everything has to mean something. To me, flowers and candy are just marketing meaninglessness. And like if you're gonna get flowers, get them for decoration. Get them because they smell aromatic. Get them because they lighten up a room. Don't get them because the commercial on the TV has brainwashed you over the past decades of your life, telling you that this is the love and or apology gift. I'm not gonna get into that, but yes.
That was very sweet of you.
Thank you. Okay, this is up your alley. If you had to wear one outfit from head to toe every day for a year, what would you pick? And you could have multiples of the articles of clothing so you could wash them. But one outfit from head to toe for a year. And what would it be? If you could choose any outfit, what would you wear?
I can already see it now. It would be... think of me wearing a suit. The classic suit. And, well, I would also have a hat.
What kind of hat?
And it would be...
Is it a top hat? Is it a bowler hat? Is it?
No, it wouldn't be that one. It would be a top hat, like what you would say, with a cane and an Inverness coat around my...
Describe that.
Oh, it's that black cloak that looks like that, and there's also a flap that goes down to here. You may have seen it in some Victorian representations that's what they wore as a coat. I would definitely like to walk around wearing that.
Every day for a year.
Yes.
Okay. It's not far off from what I thought. I thought he's gonna want to dress like a gothic vampire out on the town.
And well, actually close. A Victorian vampire.
There you go.
The classic one that actually would blend in with high society. Which is actually the perfect disguise, hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, that's very true.
So that's your answer. Me walking around as if it were Victorian England for a year.
Yeah. Very cool. On to shot number 3. All right, I'm back. I went away for a second. I brought bread and butter. I figured if we're doing this once on camera, we like pickles.
Yeah.
So
we definitely do.
I'm going to switch out the stuff real quick. Shot 3 with bread and butter pickles, like sweet pickles.
Which, in case you're wondering, they do not contain actual butter. It's simply a name.
Can you imagine if I did? Can you imagine? Hold on. You just brought out something that would be funny. Can you imagine if I was going to betray my vegan diet for views? Can you imagine, like, if I was like, if I get 10,000 subscribers, I'll eat a steak.
Then I'd wonder, how desperate are you for
right?
subscribers?
Yeah, I'd really get subs in a more honorable way. For everyone, I've been vegan since 2012, so almost 10 years at this point. So it would be a big freaking deal if I went and did that.
It was as if you were chopping and hacking at yourself, your life,
yeah,
your legacy.
Let's talk when we get to 100,000. Just kidding. Where am I? Come by.
I thought that this would be good. It makes that extra sweetness.
I actually prefer the regular more, but this isn't bad. I would also sip on pickle juice, but it would be the bread and butter. You know, I like things that taste sweet, taste like candy. Even when I order my coffee, it has to be sweet and taste like candy. Not bad. I'm going to pour the rest for you, though, because I love you. All right, question number 3. What you got?
In fact, I love you so much that I'm even saying it in front of the camera so that anyone all over the world can see and hear.
Yep. There you go. I love you.
That's how proud I am of being in love with you and being with you.
I'm a lucky guy.
Yes, you are. Remember that question some time ago that I asked if you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's something of a similar vein. Is there anything that you've wanted to do for a long time but haven't been able to do yet, you want and still intend to do, and you actually intend to do this, even if it's the last thing you do before you die? This is something that you wanted to do, you haven't done yet, but you intend to, and you will continue to strive for it, even if it's the last thing that you'll ever do.
Wow. That last part, I was just like, okay.
Yes, this is one of those things that will really count in your life.
Yeah. Short term. Mm-hmm. And this is how important this goal is to me. Mm-hmm. I want YouTube and stuff to work out so much that you can quit your job and we can do this together full time.
That's sweet.
Like we mentioned it before, we could be together every single day and not have a problem with it because our relationship is so...
Yes, and we don't have to go through any routines of mindless chatter, that we can be together and not say anything together, anything at all to each other, and yet enjoy each other's company. I enjoyed that time that we had together in silence. That's bonding.
Yeah, like being verbal is not necessary to being comfortable and being together. And also like the fact that a lot of our relationship is just unspoken because we know each other so well that we just kind of... It's like if you're watching the old NASCAR, but if you see two cars driving around at the same speed, side by side, that's a really awful analogy. I'm a little tipsy. What I mean is we can go do our own thing. You can be off doing your thing, reading, watching videos, whatever, on, whatever you're doing. I can be here editing, watching videos, doing whatever. And then we eventually just get back up and we do something together. But it's never like, okay, 2 hours from now, we'll stop what we're doing and we'll meet back up. And then we'll have this block of alone time. Or we'll have this block of together time together. It's just...
That sounded so unnatural of you.
And I was going to say, like the key word in our relationship is natural. It's interesting you said that, because that's the next thing I was going to say. See, that's how in sync we are. That our relationship is just natural. And I've said before, I'll say it again, it's effortless. I hope, this is going to sound arrogant, but I hope everyone out there can reach a point in their relationship with their significant other that you reach this level where there's no jealousy, there's no manipulation, there's no emotional fuckery. We see it in both of our families. We see people manipulating situations or needing to be the center of attention so they are catered to and bowed down to and treated as greater than the person they're with. There's none of that here. We are equals in our own way. And we respect each other's differences. And we respect each other's need for personal space because we both need it. Personal space is healthy.
Yes, there's, to my awareness, no need for a couple to be together all the time for the rest of their lives and never have any alone time because, well, everyone needs alone time eventually.
And someone needing alone time is not selfish. It's not. I've met people with like egocentric complexes, with princess complexes, and there's none of that here. And it's so nice. Like, if you're in a relationship where you are constantly paranoid and worried and all of that, I'm sorry. Because being in a relationship where you don't have to worry about anything. Like, I don't need to like take your phone and go through it. I don't need to worry about where you went. Because I'm with a man that is incapable, literally incapable. His wiring makes it so that he is incapable of lying. And then inversely, I don't lie because why would you lie to the person you love? Why? Even if you think it's to benefit them or to protect them. Are you protecting them or are you protecting yourself? Who does a lie benefit? It's just so gratifying to like not have that weight on it. And I've been in a relationship like that where I thought it was my soulmate. I thought it was the guy I was going to grow old with and all of that. And yada, yada, yada. I went over that in the What's Wrong With Me series. You want to see it? Specifically check out the Baker's Dozen video. I go way in depth about it. But to not have that is just, it's awesome. It really is. And I hope that everyone can reach that or is at that level with who they're with. Because to sound arrogant again, I think our comfort level and our bond, unspoken and spoken, is something that all couples should aspire to be. Like, we are comfortable together, and this is in the face of all the limitations our relationship has. My physical limitations. And the fact that you overlook them and you love me anyway. And that's not something I take lightly, because my ex left me over something I couldn't help, and I still can't. And to have somebody in my life that wants to be with me in spite of all of it, what more could I ask for? I think all too often people look at the negative. And every relationship has peaks and valleys. We have it too. Like, we're not like 100% copacetic all the time.
I actually am not sure if anybody is.
Yeah, exactly. I've said before, it is two individual people trying to coexist as one entity. You're with another complete person, and if you're one of those fucking people that's like, I'm gonna change them, fuck off. And if you're with a person like that, run. But if you're dating if you're like dating a dude that isn't what you want them to be, and you're gonna change them, leave them. Who are you to change anyone? Like, the arrogance of changing someone, the arrogance of molding someone to what you want. Fuck off. And this goes to family as well, because there's some of you, and I go off of my family like every one of these fucking inebriated questions.
Well, there are, interestingly, the person that they're trying to change, actually, those same things may be going in that person's mind. And if that person were to say something, well,
how dare you, yeah.
And, well, then it would then be wondered, so what's your excuse? Exactly.
Boom. You got roasted. Boom. Well done. I think, is it my turn to ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
I think, okay. I know I forgot the last video. My ranty rant about that is over. When it comes to our relationship, I honestly think that we are at a level that people should strive for. Imagine being able to say that the first thing that you feel about your relationship is effortless. And the second thing is comfortable.
Very comfortable.
Yeah, like physically, there's a deficit. And I'm not going to lie about that. Obviously, we both wish it wasn't there.
Yes.
But the fact that you are willing to overlook it, well, not as much overlook it, but it's not bothersome enough to...
It's not enough for me to say goodbye and then leave.
Yeah, which has happened. So, what's something you did as a child that your parents don't know about?
First, I need to think of something that I did as a child that I didn't want them to know about. Well, yes, there was the obvious, but they knew. They simply didn't talk about it.
Which is sad. I was made to feel comfortable about my own sexuality very early on. It's interesting that I had a more open, household to feel comfortable, being what I was born as. I just find it fascinating that, each generation tends to be progressive, more progressive than the one before it. But your experience was less progressive than mine. I was told from a young age that what I felt and what I liked wasn't bad. It was normal. I was told from a young age. That's one I've said about. I think I might have said it before. It's one of the things I will always credit my mom with. As turbulent as a relationship has been, it has been over 10 years since I've talked to her, because somehow she's the victim now, I think, from what I've heard. But then this is hearsay from relatives who are all about creating drama. So, Mom, if you ever watch this and you've heard stuff from other family members about what I've said that makes you mad or causes more drama or more of a rift between us, I never said it. If you ever want to know what the real reality is, I'm right here. I always have been. Always have been. One of the positives I can say about my mom was I always felt accepted, which was a blessing for me, because I grew up thinking that being gay wasn't a bad thing until I got to junior high and high school, and it was like they tried to beat it out of me. As I said earlier, literally.
Yes, which actually makes my childhood better then, because I didn't actually experience any physical assault. I didn't bleed as a result of it.
I didn't bleed until high school, but I was never made to feel inadequate for liking other guys. And I wish that's something I wish that you could have experienced as well.
Well, at least it isn't too late for future generations.
I hope so.
But as for the question, I'm afraid that I've been a good little boy.
Oh, they know that you use the dolls and the Barbies and the kitchen and walked around in high heels and...
Oh, yes. They knew that I did that very well. Oh. They also knew that I did some paper cutouts and then had tea parties with them. They knew all of that.
Oh, okay. I thought they didn't know that.
Oh, they did. They simply didn't approve of it, which is why I did it in secret, but there would be times when I was found out.
Oh, what happened then?
Oh, I was given the usual lecture that boys don't do this thing. And then we went on with the rest of our day.
I would just think that all the strife that your parents went through as an interracial couple, they would respect the fact of the struggle of a minority group. Like, I hate the concept of girls' toys and boys' toys. I hate the concept of you dressing your children in pink and blue when they're 0 years old. I hate gender norms. I hate them so much. And I'm sorry if this offends you. I hate it. I hate the fact that a 2-year-old boy can be called a lady killer. He's fucking 2. He has no idea what lady is, other than mom's titty that he gets his milk from, because he's a human child, and that's where the milk should come from.
Not for me, though. I was lactose intolerant. I had to have soy milk. The regular milk, I kept on spewing it back up.
See, we were meant to be together from an early age. you were meant to be with the vegan. See what I did there?
How interesting.
Yeah.
And yes, they also know that I broke the marble top table at a very young age.
Ooh.
Shall we take the shot now?
What shot?
Oh, wait. I need to ask you. No, wait.
No, this is it. That was 3 shots.
All right, I suppose I should go into that story then.
Yeah, please do.
Well.
Also, we're cutting off at 3, and I keep mentioning the time because we have very limited time on the phone. We've recorded a lot tonight, and the phone memory is almost all gone. So we are unfortunately having to kind of expedite, so we don't do another 4-hour video like the first one, or a 3-hour video like the second one, or a 2.5-hour video like the third one.
Well, it was a long time ago. My parents had...
I will pour a shot, but we're not going to ask a question after. Go ahead.
There was a table, a marble top table. It was, of course, valuable. And when I saw it...
It was, of course, valuable?
Yes, it's real marble.
Okay. How do you break a real marble table?
Hold on. Extremely little, and the marble being very heavy.
Okay.
And as for how did those two go together? I'll get to that. It was on the front lawn. It was placed there, and I suspect that they simply went inside to make room for it. And well, being the good little boy I was, I wanted to be helpful, and I wanted to help them bring the table inside. But sadly, my experiences with some tables were like those tables that you see children at that we could probably pick up with one hand.
Right.
And well, when I tried to move it, oh no, this is heavier than I thought. And it broke into, I think, 2 pieces.
Aw. How did you pick it up?
Well, I tried picking it up like if I were to pick up a table like this, the marble top was separate from the table.
Oh, okay. So then what happened? Did the marble fall through, or?
Oh no, I dropped it because it was so heavy.
So you just picked up the marble and not the table?
Oh yes, because the marble was simply sitting on top of this table, which functioned more of as a stand.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I understand. Oh, how old were you?
I think that I was 5 or 6.
Aww.
And well, I was extremely scared when that happened, so I ran away next door asking my grandparents if I could live with them. Because, well, I didn't think that my parents would want me anymore now that I broke their table. Of course, when they saw the broken table, they found out. And yes, I lived next door to my grandparents. And yes, they did realize what happened. As for what happened afterwards, I don't remember. I don't remember what happened afterwards.
Oh, that's sad.
But at least I know that, well, my parents didn't disown me, so it must have turned out all right, whatever happened.
I hope what happened next wasn't so traumatic that you blocked it out of your mind. Like you had a my mom moment where it beat the shit out of you.
I would say that they were probably more disappointed than... Well, upset, but not upset as in angry, but upset as in disappointed.
Yeah, you were just a little guy. You were trying to help.
Yes.
Aww.
Yes, although at the same time, that's no excuse for touching things that don't belong to you.
But then again, you were 5 or 6. You were just trying to help. You didn't know. You thought you were being helpful. You were like, I'm going to help them, and they'll be so happy and proud of me.
What happens when that thing could be hundreds or thousands of dollars? Is broken?
But it's called a lesson. Which you learned.
Rather expensive lesson, actually.
There you go. Well, lessons have no price. A lesson's a lesson. It could be a 1-cent lesson or a $1 million lesson. Or a one last shot lesson.
Are you saying then that knowledge can be bought?
No, you're misinterpreting it. See, I know I'm on to you. No. Well, technically, knowledge can't be bought.
But what kind of knowledge? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. You can buy influence via knowledge. Leave it at that.
I'll take that.
I'm out of juice. I've probably to borrow some of your juice.
That's fine.
One last shot. Final shot. It's almost too sweet for a chaser. The regular pickle juice, to me, it just has that balance of this is still good, but I don't know if I like the punch followed by the saccharin. Not literally, obviously, but just,
I suppose that I have a sweeter palate.
I don't know. You like more bitter coffee than I do, so.
Oh.
I think as far as like what the whiskey is, to me it pairs better with the regular pickle juice. Like when we both had, we're just like, whoa. Yes. When you had the whiskey with the bread and butter, you were like, yes, that's as good as I thought it would be. This one was a surprise. This was expected. So I think that this one was just like,
yes.
For some reason, for me and my palate, it pairs really nicely together. Like the bread and butter is still good, but if I had to have this again, I would have it with the regular pickle juice, 100%.
And I'd likely have it with the bread and butter chip juice. Yeah,
like the bread and butter is fine by itself, so it's a pickle juice, but the pickle juice and the whiskey that's a really good match.
Yes, bars around the world consider having some pickle juice on the side in addition to those nuts.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, this has been a very fun... I know it was only 3 questions this time. 3 questions, 4 shots, but we are limited, unfortunately, as I said, on space on the phone, which is what we record on.
We delved even more, both of us, into our childhood.
Yeah, like...
saying at least one thing that we didn't know until today.
Yeah, which is the entire point of the series, is finding out more stuff about each other, but doing it in a different way.
And it even happened organically. It wasn't a direct question, such as, where were you on the day of such and such? I was hiding in my grandparents' house because I broke a table.
Yeah. Yes, like most things in our relationship, it is organic. But as I said before we even shot this, I'd rather have shorter questions with more involved answers, more discussion than more questions with let's speed through it fast. Let's go through it fast. We can get 5 or 6 questions in. Nah. Always quality over quantity in everything I do. So yeah, but I had fun.
So did I.
You feeling a little tipsy?
A little.
Yeah, me too.
Not too much, but a little.
There you go.
And I'm not saying that so that I can have more.
He kind of is though. He says that, but I always know he's kind of saying that too.
When I say that, I mean, I may be saying that, but I'm not saying that necessarily.
See, he uses a qualifier.
I would have been excellent in court.
Yes, you would have actually. Yeah, you've been a fantastic lawyer.
Except for the fact that, well, like how I blurted it out, I'm too honest.
My client is guilty.
Even though technically, in my opinion, this person is guilty, I'm going to continue as if he were innocent. And if what this client is saying is true, despite that I have my suspicions to the contrary, here is the story.
There you go. And that concludes our story for this video. Good segue. Anything else you'd like to add?
No.
Okay, cool. Well, that's going to wrap this up. I enjoyed myself. It's always nice to get to know you a little more.
Yes, and it was very enjoyable to get to know you more.
So as always, I don't have a fancy outro. So I'll simply say thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video. We'll probably be like 100% less inebriated. But until then, goodbye.
Goodbye.